All right, folks, here we go again. Um, Kamala Harris, whatever her name is, however you want to pronounce it today. Um, man, what a I don't understand. I mean, I really don't. I don't get. I don't fully understand what all the hype is about. If you're one of these people who, yay, we got a woman. Okay, fine. Or if you're one of these people that, yay, we got a black person and a black woman or half black. Okay, fine, whatever. Outside of that, I don't understand what all the hype is. Like and I've said this before, and I'm gonna continue to say it. She is an empty fucking vessel. She is an opportunist. A lot of politicians are, right? But she's like a weather vane. Whichever way the wind's blowing, that's what she's going to say. You never heard her. You never heard her. She always presented herself and identified herself as being Indian. Never once. If you go back and look at her campaign ads, she never once talked about being black, right? Her dad's Jamaican, who he himself doesn't identify as black. He didn't even consider himself black. So, different story. But then when she needed black people's vote, then all of a sudden she became black. That's what Trump was talking about the other day when he got attacked on stage by that crazy lady at the National Association of Black Journalists, I think it was. But she's just forget race. Like I'm sick of talking about her race already, and she's only been doing this for 2 weeks. Like, is that all she's bringing to the table? Because at this point, I think that's all she's bringing to the table. The two things, and there's only two I've been able to find, that she absolutely believes in, right? And this is my problem with her. You're running for president of the United States, yet on your own webpage, after you ask for money, there's no platform. There's no platform to tell me what you believe, what your plan is for inflation, what your plan is for the debt, what's your plan for the two fucking wars we're in right now, and the one that's getting ready to pop off in Iran. Nothing. Nothing. The two things that I know for certain she stands behind is you can get an abortion anytime you fucking want it, up to and including birth, and the LGBTQ mafia. Those things, I am sure, okay, fine. Those are social issues. I don't give a fuck about either one of them. I care less than zero. Because neither one of those issues is going to end this country and possibly the planet. You know what will? A fucking war with Russia. What's your plan for that, Ms. Harris? There's not one. And I didn't expect, hard-hitting questions from the corporate press. They're not asking her a fucking thing. I mean, they're not asking her any questions. And if they do ask them, it's kind of softball type questions. They're not asking her anything. She's not been asked one that I've seen. I can't see it all, so maybe there's one out there and I just missed it. I searched for questions. Searched for somebody asking her a legitimate question. As in, what is your plan for inflation? I did see that one, and I only saw it one time. And it was word salad, right? I think she gets nervous, and she's got that Joker type laugh that I also think is kind of a nervous tick. And I think her brain is outrunning her mouth. I'm not really sure what's going on because at least Biden can blame his on dementia, right? What is she going to blame hers on? And somehow she went from being per the corporate press, the most unpopular vice president ever, or at least in recent memory, to the greatest thing since sliced bread. God, it's just so disingenuous, right? And the corporate press just fucking sucks. They just suck, every single one of them. Whichever side of the aisle you're on, they all suck. Because they won't just give me the truth and then let me sort the shit out on my own. They constantly want to tell us what to believe, right? There's always a narrative. I'm sick of it, man. I'm just sick of it. Like, if she debates Trump, and again, let me put in this caveat. I am not buying the fact that she's even going to be the presidential candidate until she stands on that stage in Chicago and says, I accept your nomination for the Democratic presidency of the United States. Until she says those words, I don't believe it. And she is a throwaway candidate. Make no doubt about that. Make no doubt about that. Because they don't want to burn the A team because she's probably going to lose. Like, I don't see any way in hell she beats Trump. I just don't see how. The only thing that could for her to beat him is he's more hated than Hillary. And I don't think that's the case at all. Right? So she's just empty, man. There's just nothing there. There's just nothing there. Like, if you're a Democratic voter, and I totally understand, you've got people who are going to vote for her because she's a woman. You got people who vote for her because she's a person of color. And then you have people who are going to vote for her because fuck Trump. I get that. I got it. I think that's a really poor reason to put somebody in office to run the fucking country. And I think you're a goddamn idiot if that's the reason you're voting for. But you also have that right to be an idiot. So go ahead. But if you're somebody that's on the fence, maybe, or an independent that sometimes votes Democrat, sometimes votes Republican, and you're looking for information about her, you're not going to find it. Her entire page is just she's attached herself to Biden's hips and is taking partial credit for everything he did. Right? No vice president ever did shit. Ever. You don't get credit for it. You don't get, you're just in the wings, like I've said before, waiting for the worst case scenario to happen, and then you step in and take over. Right? So she was appointed. She has still never, not one time, received a primary vote from Joe Schmo, John Q. Public. Not one time. She's never received the first vote. When she ran in 2016, she dropped out before she even got to Iowa, which is the first fucking stop. She didn't even make it that far. Empty vessel. She's gotten nothing. And if she continues to come at me with this social stuff, and all her stuff is social cultural shit, I got no time for that. I don't give a fuck. That's not what's going to make or break this country. Whether somebody can get an abortion, fine, go get it. I don't give a shit. Love who you love. Don't give a shit. Couldn't care less. I care about the debt. I care about wars. I care about somebody who can't tell me on a map, couldn't show me on a map where fucking Ukraine is, sending my boys and my girls over there to fight. That's what I care about. Those are the things that are going to destroy this fucking country. Oh, and I think she's probably coming for your ARs. Keep that in mind. Go buy now. The guy she has selected to run with her, Tim Walz, who is the governor of Minnesota, it's just more of the fucking same. He's super liberal. He has made Minnesota a refuge for children wanting transgender medical procedures, full-on abortion, I think up to and including, 8 to 9 months. Massive lockdowns during COVID. Actually had a phone-in system for people to call and tattle on their neighbors when they're doing something that was against the lockdown regulations. Yeah, that fucking guy. And then maybe that was probably greatest misdeed, but one slightly less was the BLM riots. When George Floyd was killed, he waited 3 fucking days to do anything about the rioting and the looting and, they're burning businesses and all this shit. Waited 3 fucking days. And the report is that his lieutenant governor, no, I'm sorry, not the lieutenant governor, the Republican leader in the Minnesota, I don't know if it's Senate or House, called President Trump, said, hey, we need some help here. This guy's not doing anything. And they're going to burn the city down if we don't get some help. And he finally called in the National Guard. So it's just, I got to feel like there's a big sigh of relief from that perspective. The old saying goes that a vice president won't win you the election, but it might lose you the election. I think he's kind of a safe pick. Like, she had to have an old white dude, right? Like, she didn't have a choice. I don't think the Democrats wanted this guy, but it was a safe pick. And I understand that. So it's just more of the same, man. Like, there's nothing to this lady. And for the love of Christ, I don't understand. Like, I feel like, I truly believe that if she was running against anybody not named Donald Trump, she would be behind by 15 points right now. Just based on the fact that she doesn't believe in anything. Right? She has no convictions that I can find. She's changed on fracking. She's changed on electric vehicles. She's changed on drilling. She's changed on almost everything. And it's whichever way the goddamn wind's blowing, that's how she's going to go. That's how she got to where she's at. She's never been, I think she was elected to one position, Attorney General of California, right? Every other position, she's just been put in place. Because they know she can't be elected. She is completely unelectable. So it's frustrating to see the country that I love doing shit like this, but this is what they're doing because they think you're stupid. Educate yourselves. I'm out.